And hello everybody and welcome here to a slightly unusual video to be having here at the midway point of the season, but stuff is in the works for the Snickers Cup Series in Season 8, and I'm being joined here by Dillon Poteet, and we're going to talk a bit about not only the drivers, how they're doing this season, but their outlook towards next season. So let's start first with a couple of teams that have already filled out their 5-driver limit. One of them, surprisingly enough, they ended up making their debut back in the middle of Season 5, and now Audi, Cowtech Racing, they're going to have 5 cars heading into Season 8.
Yeah, that's very surprising actually. I didn't expect them to expand so quickly after their debut just, mid-season last season. That sounded weird saying that. But yeah, it's very interesting to see how they're doing that. It's big for the sport too. I mean, for the series, having Audi expand that much, it's really big for that manufacturer and everything. And Anthony McCurry's really taken that team pretty far and gotten it to now to a 5-car team, which is we could actually consider a powerhouse team now at this point.
Yeah, and they got some good names in there. Actually, 4 of the drivers that they have driving here in Season 7, they're all returning back in Season 8, along with rookie Tanner Sullivan. So I think we can say safely that continuity is going to be on their side as far as not having to readjust to a new ride or anything. They're going to basically have the same kind of rides they had here in Season 7, and it could make them be contenders early on in Season 8.
Yeah, it really can be. And then adding a rookie in there, they're going to really be able to help Tanner definitely, kickstart the season and everything. And I think they're really going to help him out a lot. He's really done well in the lower series and really made a name for himself. He's actually been running up in the points, I believe, in mobile. And I think it was mobile, or it might be trucks. I'm not sure. But, I mean, I think that adds to the team's like chemistry and stuff. That's just another driver to help them, take it to the next level and, compete for a championship with multiple cars possibly in the chase.
Yeah, we're going to also quickly talk here because, yes, Cowtech Racing's coming in with 5 drivers, but one of them actually is not going to race an Audi. Ralph Mason making the move still with Cowtech, but he's going to actually be driving a Pontiac next year with his number 87. Pretty interesting because we know that the Audi's actually kind of based off of the Chevrolets as far as the body form and everything. So, Pontiac returning to the Snickers Cup. Do you see maybe a consistency between the Audis and the Pontiac, or is the Pontiac going to be kind of behind the 8 ball trying to relearn with Ralph Mason behind the wheel?
Well, I mean, we've seen it over in the Mobile One Cup Series that there's only a couple of Pontiacs, and they're actually, they handle it pretty well. And I mean, they're one of the lower manufacturers. But I mean, it could be slow at the beginning, or they can, just come right out of the gate and surprise everybody and run well. I mean, it's going to be kind of a toss-up right now. We'll probably have to wait and see when that happens. And a couple races go by, we'll probably get a good view of what happens. I don't think it'll be that bad for them. I think they're actually going to stay with the competition. Ralph's a veteran driver, and I believe he'll help Pontiac, get up there and compete for wins and maybe a championship as well. But I think with Ralph leading the way for Pontiac, I think they have a really good future in the Snickers Cup Series.
Yeah, and a big thing for Ralph Mason too, and obviously there is a difference between Nationwide cars and Sprint Cup Series cars as far as the build and everything, but Ralph Mason for 3, I'm certain, maybe 4 seasons has been with a Pontiac in Mobile and Cup Series competition, so he obviously knows how to drive that particular manufacturer.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that really helps out a lot too in the long run with them.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the Audis now for Cowtech. Obviously, Anthony McCurry is, he's kind of like the co-leader of the team along with Ralph Mason, so he's going to basically have the job of heading up the Audi part of the team. Still going to be with the 61 and sponsored by Monster Energy. He's actually been doing good this season, and he was good last season.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, do you think we should show the cars while we're talking about them?
Yeah, we
We've
are
been on
sure.
Trent.
Oh, yes. Yep.
We've been on Trent. Trent's getting his TV time. But yeah, Monster's been a big, they've really been a big help for this team, especially for Anthony. Big support from this team, big company. And, having the funding does help out a team a lot. I mean, you don't have to worry about being underfunded or having races where they're not paid for and it's blank spots. But, I mean, that gives you a lot of confidence, too, that these companies like Monster for Anthony has a lot of support for this driver. And Anthony really helped build that to the next level, help him expand the team. And Cowtech definitely is on the rise for sure, and I think he's really helping out Audi as well as an organization, really showing their strength and stuff. So it's definitely been I give Anthony an applause for what he's done for this team and how much they expanded over the last season.
How about James Silverfox? I mean, he was with the 41 this season, and there was a lot of questions on whether he was going to go over to a BMW team or whether he was going to go back to Dodge, where he had 2 wins back in season 6. but he decided he was going to stay an extra season at least with Audi, and right now he's still trying to get his first win in an Audi, but this I think is quite a pickup for Kyotech, the fact that they were able to re-sign James Silverfox in the 41.
Yeah, that was a question mark, definitely. I mean, he's had connections with Dodge in the past, and he even has connections over with Chevys in the other series. So, I mean, he's had a lot of relationship with other manufacturers. But, I mean, I think Kyotech with Anthony and all of them, I think they really gave him a push to stay. And he's in a really good situation, I believe. I mean, look at the sponsor. He has a lot of sponsors on those cars, Armor All, and I saw Fanta or whatever on the back. And, I mean, I think they gave him a lot of support and they gave him a lot to look at, and maybe not have as good of a chance in the future. So I think this is a really good move for James to stay with this team, and I expect him to do really well next season as well.
I'll tell you another guy that I think they really did. They really got a coup as far as keeping around Noah Hart, because this is the guy that really seems to have adjusted to the switch to Audi. I mean, he ended up winning in Audi's debut race at Darlington. He's also ended up winning a race here in Season 7. He's the only driver to go to victory lane at all in an Audi machine, and he's done it twice. So I think it was big that they were able to get him, and there was actually a lot of talk on whether he was going to stay with Kyotech or not, based on the fact that they weren't able, they really didn't want to stick with a 47, but they wanted a number that was Bobby Labonte based, since it's his favorite driver, so they got the 81. So I think the fact they were able to work all that out and keep Noah Hart with Kyotech, that was a big thing.
It's another thing too. Noah does have a connection with Bobby Labonte, and yes, it is huge that he stayed with those 2 wins. He's basically leading the bandwagon right now for for the Audis and having the wins. But another thing that's actually interesting about that number, you were just showing him. Anthony was 61, and then we saw that Silverfox was 41. He's 81. I just think that's kind of crazy how they're all like separated by 20 point or numbers. So I think it looks really good with that as well. But yeah, if they would have lost Noah, that would have been a big hit. I mean, he's their leading guy right now as far as performance, and I mean that would have been a huge hit for the organization. They might actually taken a step back if they had lost him.
So we're talking about the Kyotech boys. Here's, I think, what's going to be, if you will, the X factor. Tanner Sullivan, I mean, you said it before. He's doing well in trucks. He ended up winning his very first NNSCRA race at Daytona in the Truck Series. And he's showing some promise now in Mobile One. He ended up racing his way in, finishing second in the Mobile Open. He's going to be racing in the All-Star race. This is a guy that seems to be coming along now, and so I would assume it's not too early for him to make his jump into Snickers Cup, but he's got a lot of veteran experience he's going to be able to rely on here. How do you think Tanner's going to do based on right now him being only one of 2 confirmed rookies? What do you see for him in his rookie season?
Oh, I mean, he surprised us, like he said, in the truck race. He won at Daytona's first start like it was nothing. I mean, I expect this guy, he could contend for a chase spot next season, honestly. I mean, he's going to be in a great situation. It's almost like Kurt Busch in a way in Cup. I mean, he just jumped over, got inserted into Stewart-Haas Racing. That's another big player and a good team. Terry Sullivan's in a big-time place with all these guys at Kyotech, and he's just going to be filled in with another good ride. I mean, it's a great opportunity for him, and a really bright rookie also, I think, in the series coming up. And it could be an interesting rookie battle. I mean, it might be a couple only right now, but I believe we'll have more to join in. But he could be a clear favorite maybe to win the Rookie of the Year honors next season.
Now, another thing is he's currently driving a Toyota Tundra in trucks. He's currently driving a Toyota Camry in mobile. And we know that when Kyotech made the switch over to Audi, they were then driving Toyota Camrys in Snickers Cup competitions. So not that much of a difference, I would think, here for Tanner moving into a team that used to be a Toyota team.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be much to adjust to. I mean, very similar characteristics probably to the car. And, I mean, he'll fit right at home, I believe, with Kyotech. I mean, I think he's going to be in a really good situation. It's probably the easiest one he could be in, too. And like I said, I mean, he's ran so well in the other 2 series. I don't expect anything less than Snickers when he moves up. So I expect the 20 car to be up there for sure next season, contending for, top 5s, top 10s, and even wins.
All right, let's talk about now the second team that has hit the 5-driver mark. And, of course, we'll start with the driver that's the owner of that particular organization, Michael Norman. He's actually been having a bit of a struggle, it seems, since he moved over to the 3-car. He's got a win here, a win there, but really nothing that's been able to move him up into championship contention. What do you think Michael Norman's got to do different in Season 8, based on the fact now that he's got 4 other drivers that's going to be racing on his team with him?
Well, I mean, he's going to have people out there, to lean on for help and stuff if he's having problems during a race weekend, because he's had a lot of weekends actually lately that just have really hurt him in points, and he's had finishes he probably didn't deserve, and he dropped really far down the points. And he does get those wins there. That doesn't hurt him at all. I mean, that helps him a bunch, especially if he's struggling in points. The wins are the best thing he can do. But, I mean, he's just going to have to find a touch in his consistency. I mean, when you're having a bad race weekend, you got to make the most out of it. And you can't just, just give up and just say, we're not going to do good. I mean, you have to look positive at what you got and just, run the best. Anything can happen, and you can gain a few spots right at the end of a race. So, I mean, he just has to stay positive. This team just has to refocus, and they can just try to rally together with this new team they have with all more of these drivers and stuff. I mean, they have the equipment to run well, and I could believe Michael should try to turn around pretty soon, if not maybe this season, like very soon.
Yeah, a big part of the wins that I've seen him actually get to in NNSCRA competition have been at restricted plate tracks, and with having 4 other teammates on track, I think that's going to help him out too.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, having teammates around, especially a 5-car team like this, he has a lot of help now. I mean, it's just like Kyle Tech. They have nowhere to go but up as improvements go for a team.
Now here's one that I actually did not expect to see actually happen. Dougie
Me
Shears,
either.
the Season 1 Snickers Cup Series champ, signing with Michael Norman Motorsports in the 21 car. This, I think, is probably, in my opinion, the biggest surprise signing of the season.
Yeah, I mean, he just came back to the team that got him that championship with Red Bull Racing. I mean, he's right back at home, and he's been running good. And I'm actually, like you, very shocked that he actually left with Red Bull and he went over to Michael Norman Motorsports and driving this new 21 team. I mean, the Wood brothers apparently had to fold their team, and now we got this car picking up the 21. I mean, it's definitely interesting for sure to see Dougie leave Red Bull Racing, but you never know with Dougie. It's very spontaneous things could happen, and who knows what could happen with him in this car. I mean, he could run really well and surprise a lot of people next season. I mean, you never count down a champion ever in a series, so Dougie, I think, he'll hold his ground pretty well, I think, over there. He'll run pretty well next season, I believe.
I'll tell you, too, I just thought of this. This is going to be the first season ever in his career that Dougie Shears has driven a Chevrolet in Snickers Cup Series competition. He's driven Toyota, obviously, with the 83 back at the Season 1, I believe Season 2 as well, and now here in Season 7. But he's also driven a Ford last year, which he drove to 2 victories. That was the 17. First time we're going to see him in a Chevrolet, so it's going to be interesting to see if, how he'll adjust to a Chevy team, which he's never been in before in Snickers Cup Series competition.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be an adjustment. Like we were talking about Tanner Sullivan. I mean, he was in a lot closer situation with Toyota and Audi being very close. But, I mean, going from, a Toyota to a Chevy or, a Ford last year now to a Chevy, I mean, that's a huge difference. That could play a factor early on this season, but Dougie, I think he can adapt pretty quickly with the new car. Chevy is usually a powerhouse team as an organization, or just as a make as overall for the series. So, I mean, I think he'll be fine.
Now here's another driver who this season is finishing out with Richard Childress Racing, but then Richard Childress will probably be folding up. Bob Jones going to be moving over to Michael Norman Motorsports next season in the 27. He's a Logano fan, so they were able to get him a Joey Logano-looking scheme with the Shell Pennzoil colors on his
Big
Chevy.
sponsorship pickup.
Yeah, that is a huge sponsorship pickup too. You're right. And what are your thoughts on Bob Jones? I mean, Bob Jones, he last season ended up getting Rookie of the Year honors in Mobile Cup Series competition, and here in this season, he's starting to make a comeback in Mobile Cup Series, which he's actually sponsored by Shell Pennzoil down there as well. And then also he's up there inside the top 10 in points. I believe it's top 10. It's either top 10 or top 15 for Oreo Truck Series. So not much of an adjustment, I wouldn't think, moving over to Michael Norman Motorsports due to the fact that M&M basically bought out Richard Childress for the most part here in Season 7.
Yeah, I mean, it's like he's not going anywhere different. I mean, it's just going to be a new name. It's like watching Evernham become, Gillette Evernham or Richard Payne Motorsports. It's the same thing. But, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the personnel could be a little bit different, and, obviously the drivers are going to be different. So he's going to have to adjust to those things. But overall, I think Bob's going to have an easy time with the car itself. I mean, same car. It's like driving an RCR car still. I mean, and he's got the sponsorship now to back up this car, so he's comfortably funded. It's almost like looking at Paul Menard right now. But I think he's going to do well. I mean, he surprised a lot of people. He ran well last season at the end, and he's still doing good this season. And like I said, winning Rookie of the Year, that was an honor for any driver. And I think Bob would do pretty good this season. He's in a good team. I think a great situation.
Okay, the next driver that we're going to look at was actually a driver that I wasn't exactly sure who was going to fill in the ride. I knew the ride was going to be there, but I didn't know who was actually going to fill it. Megan Atkins reported that she will be returning back to the 33 car for M&M, and a new sponsorship of Divergent and Coors Light now that Jessica Shelton is going to be moving over to a new team. So Megan Atkins battling for Rookie of the Year honors right now in the Snickers Cup. What do you think of her returning for a second season?
Well, I think she's going to improve a lot this season. I mean, she's shown signs of brilliance, I think, just in the current season. I think she's going to be a bright star in the making and stuff for the series. And, I mean, her and Tanner right now are the only rookies, so I actually forgot that she was the other one. But
No, she's
I don't
not.
know. I
No,
think
she's not a rookie right now. She's a rookie now,
oh,
but she won't be in season
she
8.
is a rookie. Oh, I heard you say rookie. Okay, never mind. Well, I mean, she's really done well so far, like I said, and I mean, I think it's going to be interesting to see what she does. I'm not quite sure how she's going to do. I had to actually pay attention to her a little bit more because I haven't seen her a lot in the races. But I don't know. I think she's, like I said, again, Michael Norman Motorsports is a great place to be probably for her in this situation. And good looking car, by the way. I mean, I'm a big fan of that book. I can't lie. So, and then Coors Light with it as well. I mean, that's a great combination if that makes sense. But I don't know. It should be interesting to see what Megan does this upcoming season.
And then the final car for Michael Norman Motorsports, and of course we knew that she had re-signed,
Surprise!
but there was a lot of question as to what she was going to drive. Jessica Shelton's going to move over to the number 94 in Michael Norman Motorsports in Season 8, and she's been struggling a bit here in Season 7, so what do you think we're going to see out of the 94 in Season 8?
Well, they're definitely expecting improvement. It's going to be a brand new team, and they'll have to knock everything out of it and get all the slow parts out of the situation, and how they're going to have to adapt really quickly, to stay with the competition and compete for the championship stuff. Because I know she wants to be up there competing for it definitely, and I don't expect anybody else to be less than that. I mean, everybody's thought is to go and win the championship, run best, make the chase, and all that. So, I mean, this is a great opportunity, new team, and maybe a fresh start for Jessica and a new team, and gives her, if this season doesn't turn around, I mean, you have the future to look forward to with the new team. So, whatever happens, regardless, I think Jessica will have some success next season with that 94 team. It's actually a good looking car, by the way.
All right, now we're going to be talking about a team that I know is something that you are very informative about because it's the team that you're going to be driving for next season. So what we're going to actually do is we're going to talk about the confirmed ride series because we know there's still a few question marks in the Tweenix camp. How about we start with you? You're going to be moving to the 31
It's me.
next season. You in the Mountain Dew Chevrolet, that's your primary scheme. Your thoughts? I mean, a lot of people kind of surprised you've left the 78, which you've been with for quite a number of seasons, 3-4 seasons, I believe.
Yeah.
What prompted the change to move to the 31?
Well, I mean, I enjoyed driving the 78. It was a fun number to be at, and it probably saved it. It was on its last legs, I think, before I hopped over into it, because it was, just the one furniture row car, and it was a one-car team. We merged it over into, what is now Tweenix Racing. And, I mean, it really meshed really well, like, when I started in that series. I mean, I joined halfway through that season. I think it was season 2. I'm not sure. Maybe 3. But I just remember we did so well. We made the chase, and we did it second season after that. But then we've kind of struggled since then, the last couple of seasons, including this one. And, I mean, it could be just, in a number. Maybe I can believe that. But running online, I run 31. And I just thought it might be a perfect opportunity for it to happen since it was already in the Tweenix camp with Danny Wells and stuff. And, you talk to teammates and you try to work things out. And Danny had an opportunity to go and, move to a newer team for Tweenix, which we'll get to in a minute. So it's basically me taking over, I guess you could say, his spot. We kept the number and we changed the number font. And that's a good story that can go along as we talk about Tweenix. And I got a lot of my sponsors to come back as well. So it's always good. I think it's going to be really good next season, I believe. I mean, it's a fresh start from my career, maybe, to restart it and get it going again because we kind of been struggling. And I don't want to talk too much more about myself, but I'm just really looking forward to the future for Tweenix and stuff and Snickers.
Now, the one team and driver that's really not going to be changing a whole lot, but there are a few changes that are going to be happening here. James McLeod going to be sticking with the 51, but with the fact that Turner Scott ended up buying out Phoenix Racing in the actual Sprint Cup Series, you and the other Twinks drivers moving over to Turner Scott numbers. So James McLeod going to be still running the basic sponsors that we'd expect, but he's going to have a different looking number on that car.
Yeah, there's actually James. I'm the only person that knows about it right now, but it'll be some revealed soon. He has a lot planned out. The team's signed a lot of different sponsors and stuff that's going along with him. the expected stuff like Mountain Dew and Blue Fox will be there, but he's had some other cars that he's going to unveil pretty soon that we'll announce hopefully later on. But yeah, the number font, yeah, it's going to change. It's going to be like mine. That was a big reason for this to happen because I thought it was a perfect opportunity for us to pull this off. And the other cars that are involved in this situation have their way to get in it as well. So we're almost looking like Turner in a way now, but I mean, it looks really good how everything's looking next season. We all had the same number font, look like a team. And I'm excited to have James on the team once again. Very fun teammate to have, along with who else we have. We'll talk about soon. I don't want to spoil anything, but looking forward to it definitely with James still on board with us. It's going to be really fun.
Now, here's one that really was a surprise, too, I guess, for your team. Sean Henley has been with that 25 for, I think now, going on 4 seasons.
Yeah.
He's going to be moving over to the number 57 now for the Viagra-sponsored Chevrolet. I found out from Sean that the 57 is his number in football, and so that's why he wanted to move over to that particular number. And, of course, there's the Turner Scott 57 on his car. I don't know. What do you think? A number change going to make any difference, or is this basically the same team?
I mean, it gives you a different meaning. It's like with me, how it is a special number. It's been not just a special number for me online, but it's been around for a while for me. But, I mean, showing in personal life with football, I mean, having that number, it sticks with you. And, I mean, I think it really looks good having that on your car. It makes you feel, I mean, it can be more of a comfort factor. And I think he really enjoys that. And by the way, Seth, you did a great job. So credits for you, Seth, for making that 57, making that happen. Because I know that was hard for you to make that 7.
It was. That 7 was a nightmare.
But yeah, Seth, you did a great job on that. But, I mean, I think he'll really like it. I think it's going to really work out for him, too. I mean, don't expect anything less out of Sean with this car. I mean, Viagra Boy will still run very well. Still be running up there competing for wins. And like I said, it's like almost like a new era for, Tweenix Racing. It's like the next step for the team. It's like how Caltech, how they're expanding and they're changing this stuff. Well, I mean, I could say the same thing about Tweenix and, I mean, really all these teams. It's a really new step for this team, especially. It's going to look actually a lot different outside of James. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens next season with Tweenix and Sean definitely with this new number and my new number and James, whatever he all does.
Now, James is basically staying the same. You're replacing the 31 that Danny
I'm just
Wells
changing
drove.
numbers, basically, and keeping the same sponsors.
Yeah, you're changing numbers to the 31, which Danny drove here in Season 7. Sean's moving over to the 57, so now the question mark is, where's the 25 and where's Danny Wells? Well, there's some rumors swirling that Danny Wells is looking into either driving the 25 or the 4. There hasn't been a confirmation yet, but he will be remaining with Tweenix Racing, that we are certain.
Yeah, I mean, Danny is basically branching off. I guess I'm trying to see I'm trying to figure out maybe a team he actually is on that he went to. Because I guess I could say I swapped to his current ride right now. And I'm trying to think right now. Is Tweenix a 4-car team right now at the current season for Cup?
Yes.
Well, it could actually also involve Sean Galligan, who we haven't even talked about either. I mean, me and him had to find a spot because... Well, actually, I could say my team went over to his team, and he brought his team over to the 4. I could say that, and the 78 just kind of falls off. I guess I could have said that a little bit easier. But, I mean, again, preference to, like, something that he likes. With being a Kevin Harvick fan, keeping that number around. And there was what we were thinking about Stuart Haas possibly staying around in all that situation, and we had thought about trying to make it a Turner 4 or keep it a Stuart Haas 4, and the 25 came into play, which he actually could swap into, which is another shock, because I did not know about him in the 25. I never knew he liked it. But Danny, another driver, backed up with sponsor. He's won races. He's done well. And I know it's another twist for Tweenix Racing. Might as well call it Twisted Racing at this point. So everything's swapped around and just all over the place. But I don't know. It's just going to be a whole new look to the team next season. I mean, like I said, James is the only person staying stable, but he's going to have a different look as well. So... I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see. And like I said, Danny, the number is definitely not a confirmation. We've had a lot of rumors about drivers, even a 5th team that we've had, like candidates that might take that car, which is still up in the air as well.
Yeah, so Tweenix Racing, they're getting stuff together, but not everything quite ironed out yet.
Yeah, it's very complicated. You might as well throw everybody in the dryer and just whatever happens comes out. We don't know. It's going to be random.
Well, talking about being random... Cold Alley ended up announcing that he's going to stay in the 88 for Season 8, but he's moving to Camaro, and now there are 2 other well, I should say for right now, Hendrick Motorsports drivers that are going to be in Season 8 that are also making the move to Camaro. There's still a question as to whether it's going to remain Hendrick Motorsports for the team name, but Cole Daly making the move to Camaro here. We're going to have Camaros and SS's on the racetrack in Season 8. What do you think?
It's just that's interesting. I mean, it like goes back to the days with GM having Pontiac and Chevrolet at the same time. It didn't have that field back then just because they look nothing alike. But now we're going into the branch of two Chevys like makes of like cars. We're going to the SS's and the Camaros. I mean it's like putting a nationwide car out there racing a Cup car at the moment, I guess you could say. And it's just very interesting, just the idea of thinking about it. I don't know. It could be, like I said, it could be another new development of something that could happen next season. And I don't know. I mean, I don't expect them to do bad. I mean, they're Chevys. And I mean, they surprisingly work well with the front end, which I didn't know it would work or not. But it's interesting, definitely, to see where this team could go next season. And it looks good. It's just going to be interesting to see what happens with this team if they're going to stay Hendrick as well. That name, that'd be weird to see that go away too. So, not sure.
Okay, he's got a teammate, or he's actually got two teammates, but we'll talk about the first one here. Moving into the 48 now. He's driving the 15 for Michael Waltrip Racing here this season, but he's going over to, quotes, Hendrick Motorsports next season, Cody Lamas. And the interesting thing about this, too, is Cody Lamas and another driver we're going to talk about in a minute, they were pretty much all four going with Camaro. It's not been like one side of Hendrick Motorsports wants to stay SS, the other side wants to be Camaro. They've all pretty much been for the move to Camaro, which has been quite interesting.
Well, I mean, it shows the chemistry right there within the team. I mean, they're all on board with going to Camaro, which is good. So they'll all be on the same page and not be like, well, I don't know if this would have worked if we would have stayed in the other one or if we would have swapped. So it's really good that they're all actually, coexisting with each other. And there's no, like an egotistic kind of domination over there for some of these drivers. Are all on the level playing field. And it's definitely a good thing to have, before next season even starts. So they're already ahead of the ballgame, I think, when it comes to, team chemistry and preparation for next season.
And the third driver that's been confirmed for this team is Kyle Matthews. Now, Kyle Matthews is with Hendrick Motorsports right now in the 5 car. He's also won this season, so him staying with the Hendrick Motorsports team, even though he's moving over to the 24, that's got to be kind of a little bit of an edge, if you will, for this team with the fact that they're going to have both Kyle Matthews and Cole Daly, two drivers who this season are with Hendrick, staying with that same team next year.
Yeah, I mean, those two already have chemistry with each other, and they both are already, used to the organization and what to expect. So I don't think the transition is going to really affect these two. I mean, Cody's probably the one they're going to have to keep an eye on because he's, completely switching teams over there to the Hendrick team or whatever it's going to be called. But I think Matthews is going to be in a good spot as well with Daly, and I think they shouldn't really have any problems. I expect them, compete like how Hendrick would, and any other day. So I don't expect much less from these teams than there are this season. I mean, just try to go out there and win races like every other race.
Okay, now we got Ford, which is actually going to be staying in NNSCRA competition. There was a lot of talk about that because really Roush Fenway, there hasn't been a lot of action there. There hasn't been a whole lot of action over with the Penske team. But we do know that there's going to be a merge between Jake Rogers and Eric Enrage to form what's going to be basically RPM is going to be the acronym for it, Rogers V8 Performance Motorsports. And Jake Rogers going to be bringing the kind of a merge, if you will, between Everham and Petty Enterprises.
Yeah, I mean, this is it's definitely interesting to see something like this, and Doritos backing them up as well and having funding for Jake, and it's going to be interesting. It's good to see that Ford is still hanging around. They were hanging by a thread of staying in the series, and looks like at least we're going to have this team, and however many cars are going to be. I'm not sure yet at the moment, but it should help them out a lot. I think they're going to do good, but I mean they're going to have to depend on each other a lot if there's not any other Ford teams, and they're just going to have to really rely on each other to run well during the season and try to keep up with the competition.
Yeah, and I found it kind of interesting, too, Jake Rogers deciding to stick with Ford because he's been having a rather miserable season with Penske Racing so far here in Season 7, so obviously he's willing to give Ford an extra chance, and he's going to have a teammate here. This was the first driver after Jake Rogers started to form the team, and this is obviously one of Eric Enrage's drivers, Andrea Eriksson. Now, Eriksson's running for Rookie of the Year honors here in Season 7, and in only her second Snickers Cup Series start, she picked up the win at Phoenix, so
Yep.
I think this is actually a really good teammate for Jake Rogers to have.
it's definitely an interesting team too. You think about it, putting those two together, and I mean they both have great history now. I mean she's already making a big splash in the series, already winning, and Jake's a veteran in the series. I think it's a interesting. I guess it's almost a good, maybe a dynamic duo we might have maybe for next season to look forward to. I mean that could be a under the radar team to look at, as possibly stealing the show and maybe being there at the end of the season. Definitely going to be intriguing to see what this team does next season for sure.
Yeah, you talk about the randomness of the team. You got Jake Rogers, who is a former Truck Series champion.
Yep.
You got Andrea Erickson, who is a winner in her rookie season, the Snickers Cup. Well, add another rookie winner this season into the pot. Harrison Langford has a win this season with Petty Enterprises, moving over to the 43 for RPM next year.
I actually did not know about this car, but that's actually pretty cool looking. But yeah, Harrison is in this situation as well. Another young driver in the series, making name for himself and everything, and another good situation. I mean, you got a lot of responsibility when you're driving that number on that car, that 43. I mean, there's a lot that goes behind driving that car. So I mean, there might be a little bit added pressure, but I think Harrison's going to be able to, I think he's going to be able to handle the pressure. And I think he'll really do well next season. I mean, not quite sure of the three who will stick out as, the best driver, but I mean, I think it could be a toss-up at the moment because it's going to be a merged team and they've got to get used to each other and see what happens. And I think really all of them should run pretty well next season. I mean, like I said, an underdog team next season for sure, being right now the only Ford camp right now in the series for season 8.
Well, we ended up having it kind of go radical when Audi ended up joining the sport. Well, now it's starting to get even more radical. More manufacturers coming into view. Mitsubishi Lancers will be making their debut in Season 8, and Brandon Gonzalez is the guy basically behind that whole motion as he has formed Gonzalez Motorsports. Now, Brandon Gonzalez we have not seen since, I believe, Season 3. He ended up having a win that season at Talladega. It's been a long time since we've seen Brandon in a Snickers Cup Series car, but he's coming in with a foreign manufacturer, and I talked with him. He said basically he thinks their source of competition is going to be the Audis.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why he said that. That's another foreign manufacturer with Audi and stuff, and it's almost like a pride thing to beat them. I mean, I see why they want to do that, and they're the main competition. You can probably throw in Toyota in there as well, but I mean, there's so many unknowns about the Mitsubishi Lancers. I mean, we don't know what they're going to do. I mean, they're going to debut next season, and I mean, they've not hit the track, and it's going to be very interesting. Brandon also hasn't raced in a while, so that's another factor. Is he rusty, or is he going to come out, swinging really good next season? He could be a contender, or maybe he could be, a pretender. We don't know. And like I said, it's going to be a question mark with this team. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen, but you never know. We've seen crazier things happen, I guess.
Well, if he's rusty or not, he's got two good teammates to back him up here. This team actually started to form together really quick. Charles Sanford is going to be driving the number 03 machine. And I still have not gotten a hold of what this sponsor is called.
I couldn't help you either on that.
I know nothing of anime, but
you
anyway,
Charles.
Yeah, sorry, Charles. We just don't know what it's
We
called.
don't know anime.
But anyways,
Pokemon, that's not really anime.
But Sanford, a Daytona 500 winner here this season, and obviously has seemed to really been able to find his feet in Snickers Cup Series competition. He actually had fallen outside of the top 15. He's now back up in the top 10. So this is going to be, I think, a big acquisition for Gonzalez Motorsports, putting Charles Sanford in a Mitsubishi. The question is, can Sanford adjust now?
Yeah, no, I mean, Sanford had a really good season this season, and it's really been interesting to see that he actually is hopping over to this team. But again, when an opportunity arises for a driver in a brand new situation, I mean, it's intriguing to really think of all your options. And at this point, Charles thought this was the best option for his career. So he's over here with Brandon, and we're going to talk about the other driver in a minute. I know who it is already, but it's definitely interesting. And these cars are going to be the most interesting cars to look on the racetrack too, I think. But I mean, I think he'll do pretty good. I mean, he could end up being the leader of the team as it comes to performance. That or the guy we're talking to, like I said, we don't know exactly who is going to be the front runner with this team. But again, interesting to see who's going to run up front with them.
Yeah, this guy that we're going to be talking about now, he's another driver.
Oh,
who's
Josh.
a rookie. He's a rookie winner here this season as well, driving the 43 for Petty Enterprises. Next season, he's in the 34, a Mitsubishi.
Yeah, I mean, Josh, I love Josh to death, and he's a great guy and everything. And it's fun to watch him race and stuff. I mean, he's very interesting. He kind of lurks in there. He can almost say he's like a closer of the series, and he's been lately because he's always seemed like he's in the right place at the right time for good finishes, and he even won a couple races just for being in the right spot. And I mean, he just won he won at New Zealand, I believe, just recently, I
That's right.
believe. So I mean, he was right place, right time. I would know that because I actually won there too somehow on pit road. I never know how I won that in the Truck Series. But anyway, Josh, like I said, great young driver and everything to have in the series, and I mean, he could be a favorite next season. You never know. Like even for the championship, I know I'm giving him high praise right now, but I mean, Josh has had such good luck at this. I don't know, just something maybe about his luck just might help him next season, and it could help this team out a lot, I believe.
Yeah, and the fact that he's got a win here in his rookie season in Snickers Cup after he's been a former Mobile Cup Series chaser, I mean, obviously he's going to be pretty well established heading into season 8.
Like I said, it's just going to be interesting to see this team next season. Just their cars are very interesting, I guess is the word to put it, because I guess we're not into that stuff like they are, like as a view of what they know about, because we know nothing probably about it.
Yeah, and I'm very
I
happy
don't even know
that
what the
they
hood
ended up
says
putting.
right now at all, or the side, or the
Well, I
back.
know it. I know it's actually. I know that that one actually is Miku Toshimi
Oh,
because
okay.
I've heard of that one a lot. So,
Okay.
but one thing
Other
that
than
I
that, no.
am glad about is that Gonzalez Motorsports actually has put secondary rides together for both Brandon Gonzalez and Joshua Collard, so that way those two paint schemes that you just saw there that are absolutely identical, they won't be running on the track at the same time and make me completely
Go
bonkers with trying to
crazy.
figure out who's who.
Like Collard, no, Gonzalez, no. Oh,
Here's another team that is coming back next season, but there's a few question marks even here. Trent
hmm
Dunham, the guy who established Sega Motorsports here this season, uh,
Sega.
he's got teammates this season with John Cittadino and Andrea Eriksson.
Yep.
He's only got one confirmed teammate so far heading into season 8.
Yeah. It's almost like looking like they're doing an overhaul at the moment. Like there's a lot of question marks. This might be one of the biggest question marks for next season. Like I mean, Trent's gonna be around for Sega. He's the guy that runs the organization. He's the guy, the Sega guy and everything. But I mean, the other driver, it's always seemed like it's a toss up who's gonna be on this team because they've had a lot of different drivers lately. Outside, I think Charles Jackson was one of the only people that actually was stabilized with him for a while, but he's actually moved on, I believe. But I'm not sure. Like, I think there's a lot of things they'll have to talk about and get discussed for next season. But I believe Trent will be able to. I mean, at least maybe get a 3 car team. We don't know. Maybe 2 car. Maybe even 1 car. We don't even know. Heck, they can even pull out a 5 car team. We don't even know it.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, right now we know that there's one
That's how much
established
he knows.
driver. We don't know if he's actually trying to get John Cittadino back for Sega Motorsports or not. We haven't heard any reports from that, but we do know that a driver that is going to be a teammate of his is the second of our confirmed rookies for season 8, Isaac Canepa. Now Canepa is a former Mobile Cup Series driver. He actually won in Mobile Cup Series competition back in Season 6.
hmm
He also is currently driving full-time in the Truck Series, but he'll be making his debut in Snickers Cup Series competition.
If I'm not mistaken, is this the return of the 8 car this season? Like, is it not running at the current season?
I believe you're correct. Yeah, the 8 car I don't think has been in the series since Season 4, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I mean that's another thing too. I mean, unveiling. Trent's very skeptical about the 3 car, but what about the 8 car? I mean, he's bringing this car is actually coming back. It's so weird to see the 8 car, back out there like this. And I mean, it had to take a lot to probably bring that back too. I'm not sure. Actually, after today, he probably didn't like Dale Jr. after he wrecked McMurray at Martinsville. But anyway, it's good to
Pretend
see
it's
the 8 car back.
Almirola, Trent.
Yeah. It's good to see the 8 car back out there, and they got Ream sponsoring them. That's a good sponsor car as well. I mean, Isaac could really bring a lot to the table for this team. I mean, another unknown in the series. We don't know exactly what will happen, but being under Trent's guidance, I think it will be a good ride for this 8 car next season with Isaac Canepa. I mean, it could be an interesting season for Sega Motorsports for sure next season. Like, what all is going to happen? Who all is on the team?
Yeah, I mean, I've been kind of trying to listen here if there's anything going on with the 42 team,
Yeah.
but right now there hasn't been any word.
Yep.
Here's another team that is going to be coming in, and a new manufacturer, BMW, is going to be making its debut
Dun, dun,
into
dun.
this series. Now we know that BMW is currently made its debut in other series. The ARC-Sao DuPont Cup Series currently running them with Cybertron Motorsports, but Snickers Cup going to be having BMWs with a 2 car team so far, and Joshua Michaels is going to be moving over to BMW. Now, one thing about Joshua Michaels that I've looked back through the history books, Joshua Michaels ended up starting out his season, I believe it was with the number 10 machine
hmm
of Everham.
Yep.
He then, the next season, moved over to a Toyota with Red Bull Racing, and now he's jumping over to a BMW team. So he seems to be a driver that helps get teams that either are returning or just getting started get established.
Yeah, I mean, he's helped out a lot of teams. Everywhere he's went, he's actually left his mark, and he's really ran well with the teams he's drove for. And it shows, the variety of of ways he could actually help a team out and his talent level to actually help these teams out. But this could be the biggest test of his career, definitely. I mean, like it was with the Mitsubishi Lancers. I mean, a BMW, another manufacturer making their debut. That's another tall task for a two-car team to try to pull off and make this team work. I mean, it's another unknown for the series next season. What is BMW actually going to do? Like, will they have the performance to keep up with everybody? Will they just be as competitive as these other manufacturers? It's just a big question mark for sure for them. But I think Josh will definitely help out the team. Definitely. Oh, look, Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, yes indeed, and he'll have a teammate next season. Seth Cole's
It's
actually
you.
going to make his return to the Snickers Cup Series. Now, I will say that there actually is some possibility that Alex may come in the number 54, replacing the 52. There's going to be some testing going on in the what's going to be formed as the RGE BMW racing team to see which driver comes out doing the best. But more than likely, it will be Seth Cole that will be driving for BMW, and we haven't actually seen Seth Cole since season 4.
And like I said, it's not 100% confirmed. There's always other possibilities for Seth, but we don't know. We're just going to keep that there. But
Yeah.
I mean, Seth definitely looks like he's had everything prepared. I mean, he was a big reason that you were a big reason that BMW got into the series. Like you really helped push it come into the series, and it's a great opportunity to see what it could happen. It could be a really good opportunity for BMW to make their name in the series and I don't know, leave their mark definitely for sure. I mean, you haven't been in the series for a while, but I mean, it could be interesting what you do. It's kind of hard to talk to you as yourself.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be very difficult to
you, but it could be interesting regardless what happens. I mean, it's going to be fun to watch BMW next season for sure. I mean, whoever's in it, if it's you or Alex May, whoever's with Josh McMichaels, this is going to be interesting regardless, I think.
Now let's talk about a couple of what we've got right now as single car teams. They may end up getting some teammates along the way. One of them is we don't even know what the name's going to be. It's going to be obviously a Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota, but Charles Jackson has announced that he is thinking of moving over to the number.
Oh, did you hear something?
Um,
I don't know. Anyway, continue on.
he's going to be moving over to the number 54 car, and it's going to be I'm assuming kind of like a Kyle Busch numbered scheme,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't know if it's going to be Mayonnaise Racing or if it's going to stay with Joe Gibbs, but I have a feeling it's going to be Mayonnaise Racing.
I
But
feel
anyway,
like it too. Joe Gibbs, Mayonnaise Gibbs Racing. Oh God.
but while we're talking about him, I want to just talk about one other guy because there could possibly be, I don't know for certain, but these are two confirmed Camrys for next season. Kyle Corbett is going to be in the number 56 State Water Heaters Toyota. Now,
Interesting
he has said that he wanted to stay with MWR, but there could possibly be, with Jackson being a single car team for Joe Gibbs, Corbett being a single car team for Michael Waltrip Racing, we could see the two of them merge together.
Yeah, I mean, the Toyota teams, we really haven't talked a lot about them. They've really been out, in the dark really about, talk for next season. I mean, Ford's in a bad situation, but Toyota's also really been in a bad situation when it comes to, confirmed rides for next season. I mean, Gibbs having problems getting teams put together. I mean, Michael Waltrip Racing, I think they've downsized. And, I mean, it's a difficult time for Toyota. I mean, all these other makes are coming in and running Ford and Toyota down almost to the ground. So, I mean, worst case scenario, I mean, I don't know what could happen, but I think the best thing they possibly could merge. I mean, there's still time for, other announcements. It's still fairly early, but it would be interesting to see Corbett and Jackson work together as a team. I mean, definitely a unique duo for sure. And if it expands or if they get Mike Walter Racing and Joe Gibbs back or Mayonnaise, Palooza, whatever the heck it is. But it'll be interesting regardless. I mean, two young, good drivers, and it could be an interesting thing if they actually merge.
Now let's talk about a couple of drivers that, or at least one driver that we know of that is a confirmed ride, but we don't know where he's going to be situated next year, and that's a former Snickers Cup Series champion, John Cittadino. Now we know that John Cittadino runs his cars under Cittadino Ed Motorsports. However, he's been running them under Sega Motorsports this season. We don't know where the number 72 X-Bed car is going to end up in season 8.
Yeah, I mean, Cittadino has a lot of options of where to go, but I mean, not really have seen any sign of where he's going to go. We haven't really got any indication at all where he plans on going. I mean, he could always go to his own team. I mean, I don't think it'd be a problem. Or he could stay at Steger, or he could just go somewhere else. There's no telling where Cittadino will go, but I think regardless where he goes, he's a former champion. He's going to leave his mark on a team. He could be a great leader for a team as well, being a past champion in an NNSCRA. So I think Cittadino will help wherever he goes, regardless of that team. He'll be a great leader.
we're going to talk about two more drivers. One driver is a driver that I'm going to take this opportunity and try and recruit. Sean Galligan, please join BMW Racing. I made a car for you, but
You're already trying to show off the car.
well, we already know that Galligan is going to be obviously in the 44 Hartlepool car.
But
He was with Tweenix Racing. We've had him with Hartlepool Racing. We don't know where he's going, but
no man,
we're trying to recruit him for BMW.
we don't know what he'll be in. Yeah, I mean, it will be interesting. I mean, Galligan is a. I mean, he could be right now the top free agent. I mean, he's had probably the best success of drivers not in a confirmed ride right now. I mean, he's had a lot of success in all three series, and I mean, it will be interesting where he goes. I mean, Tweenix has a spot open still. The BMW team obviously has a couple of spots open, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's no telling. Those are probably the top two runners where he'll go, or he might run off and do his own team. I mean, you never know. It could be, it'd be interesting. I mean, I know you're recruiting them, but I mean, there's always a spot open at Tweenix.
Oh boy, Tweenix and BMW fighting for Sean Gallagher.
Yeah.
Sean, you should feel special. Let's talk about the final free agent driver now. It was going to be that Charles Jackson was actually going to be in the list of the free agent drivers because we didn't know where he was going, but we just recently got the confirmation he's going to be going to the 54. But the other driver that is a big name as far as free agency of where we're not sure where he's going is Dillon Young. Now, Dillon has been a number two driver for a long, long time. He's been in Dodges, he's been in Fords, he's been trying to keep Penske going, but he's losing Jake Rogers as a teammate next year.
Yep.
We're not exactly sure what his plans are. What do you think could possibly be in store for Dillon Young?
Well, I mean, Dillon Young, I think, has some options, definitely. I mean, there's one option he could stay with Ford and possibly, merge maybe with, Jake Rogers' team to stay with Ford. That's a possibility. And he can stay with Jake as well in that situation, so that can still work out. If he wants to stay forward, that's just an idea. But another spot they talked about was Tweenix Racing. Tweenix is still, I think, trying to recruit a fifth driver. I think they are looking at funding for a fifth team. I mean, I think it's doable. I mean, there's other teams out there, like the BMW team has spot open. Wherever the Gibbs situation is, there's this opening probably there. There's really a lot of opening for Dillon Young right now to go on a team. I mean, he has a lot of options, so he's going to be like the LeBron James right now, having to figure out where the heck he's going to go and make his decision, I guess. Hopefully not a public announcement like LeBron. That was kind of bad. What should I do?
Now we're talking about all these drivers and teams and manufacturers coming in, making debuts and returns and what have you. But we got, as you were mentioning before, Ford is barely staying alive. We've got Toyota with two drivers so far announced. But one team, or one manufacturer, that really we haven't talked about at all because there isn't any confirmed drivers for that yet, is Dodge. Now we don't know if Dodge is going to be sticking around or not. There are some rumors that possibly Chris Washer may end up bringing the 10 car back, but we don't know. I mean, what do you think? Are we going to see Dodge? Are we going to see Dodge make some kind of a comeback here, nearing the end of season 7?
It could be a possibility. I believe that it could happen. I mean, we don't really know. It's gonna be up in the air, and it's gonna take the right situation for it to happen. And Dillon Young, again, he's also in a situation that could happen as well. Because I know the 2-car has some Dodges, but I don't know how he feels about it. But again, that's another possibility for Dillon Young. And just looking at, I mean, it would be nice to see Dodge stay again, but I'm trying to think how many manufacturers that would actually be. Would that be about 7, 8?
I think it'd be 8.
Oh, that'd be a interesting manufacturer battle for sure.
Yes, indeed.
2 Chevys in that situation. We got a lot of foreign ones, and then got those American ones. So definitely will be interesting to see what Dodge does. But Dodge still has a little bit of time to try to work their program out. If not, I mean, they had a good run, and maybe they could return for the future in another season. But it'd be a shame to see them miss out a season. I don't like them to repeat NASCAR because it'll make me produce a sad. Oh.
So after viewing here, every driver so far that's been confirmed for season 8, what do you see as far as teams going up against each other? What are the in other words, season 8 versus that we're going to be seeing?
I think it's gonna be interesting. I'm looking right now. Some of the teams that are definitely gonna be interesting to see. I think maybe we'll have a competition between some of the Chevy teams. I think there's gonna be a little bit of a who is going to be better during the season, and there's going to be, that bragging rights between maybe the Hendrick team and maybe I guess at the Tweenix team. I mean, we look back in the past, Hendrick and Tweenix had a good history of, rivalries like, battling for wins and, chase spots and stuff. And I think that Hendrick with their Camaros and stuff, I mean, it's really like they're facing against the SSs. Now it's really could be a rivalry between two makes, even though it's a Chevy. But I think that'll be one of the main ones we'll see next season. And then the one you brought up between the Lancer and the Audi. I think those two, those teams. I think with Gonzalez's team and Anthony's team. I mean, those two. That's going to be like the battle of like the foreign makes, I think. And you can even throw in BMW being in there too. I mean, that could even be a throw-in right there. So it could be a battle amongst those three makes, and we'll see what happens there. And I think that could be another one as well. I'm not really sure about the other ones we'll see right now, but those I think are the clear-cut ones that I expect to see be a big part of Season 8.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, with the way I'm seeing it, I can actually see a three-way in Chevy teams because you got Michael Norman
Oh, yeah, and
Motorsports
Michael, too. I
Racing
forgot about that. Yeah, I don't
and
want to
Hendrick
know that.
Motorsports. Because you think about it,
That's a five-car
all
team.
all three of those teams really have established drivers
Yeah.
that have really made a lot of impact in either the rookie seasons or the seasons they've been in the Snickers Cup.
Yeah, I really actually want to throw in Michael Norman Motorsports now because I actually had forgot. My bad. But yeah, Chevy's really going to have a big class of cars racing against each other. Two teams of SSs, and then you got the Camaro team. I mean, if they all become five-car teams or something like that. I mean, you're looking at 15 cars competing against each other. That's going to be very interesting to see those teams. Those could be powerhouse teams too. Thinking about that as well, along with Kyle Tech. Anybody that has 5 teams or 4 teams, I mean, you just have to watch out for those guys. Those like smaller teams are really going to have to look out for those bigger teams. Trying to dominate the series.
But you know what? You talk about the bigger teams. I'd watch out for the smaller teams too, the Toyota teams and the Ford teams, because they're going to be in, if you will, a season of renaissance, trying to keep that manufacturer alive and trying to make a statement. Hey, these cars can still race up here with these new manufacturers coming in.
Yeah, I mean, they're out there just to prove a point that they should not run these manufacturers out, to the ground and stuff. I think they're going to have a lot to prove next season. Wouldn't surprise me to see them run really well next season. I mean, small teams always seem like they step up at the best times, and I mean, Jake's team, you look at them, and then you look over whatever happened with Toyota, and even, if Dodge returns next season. I mean, you have to look at all the scenarios and never know what could happen. Anything is possible in the series, and like I said, it's just going to be exciting to watch next season overall, whatever happens, because it's going to be, I think, a great season with all the different teams, the makes, and hopefully the outcomes will go along with that, will make it such a great season.
And I think as well, with the drivers that have got confirmed rides, if they're moving over to new teams, new rides, new manufacturers, I think that's going to play out into the finish of the Snickers Cup Series here in Season 7 too. They're going to want to kind of say, hey, look, I did really well here in Season 7. Let's try and do the same thing here in Season 8.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. They want to carry that momentum over and, have the right to brag and, say we were the top guys or the top dog team from last season. We're going to, we're going to keep our throne and stay up top and everything, and we're going to dominate once again. So, again, going into the end of the season, you have the off season to have everybody looking at your team as, the dominant team, and everybody's going to be aiming for you. That puts pressure on you, but teams will, rise from the, adversity and everything, and I think they'll really handle it well, whoever that team might be. But like I said, if you want to be the big dogs here, you're going to have to dominate and win a championship this season.
So that is a look at the drivers so far confirmed for the Season 8 Snickers Cup Series. A lot of big names, a lot of interesting teams, different scenarios heading into Season 8. And Dylan, I want to thank you for joining me for this because I think this is going to help everybody as far as pretty much knowing what exactly is going to go down in the Snickers Cup Series in Season 8.
Yeah, definitely. And I hope you guys all stayed awake. I hope we didn't bore you guys to sleep. We like talking, if you haven't noticed, especially me, because I like to talk. But anyway, it's going to be very interesting. I hope, like I said, what Seth said, hopefully it helps you guys see what's going to happen next season, like a little bit of an inside look of the, a sneak peek of what next season is going to be all about. And like I said, we don't even have the full roster confirmed yet, so there's going to be more announcements to come, for the rest of the season to fill out, the full roster for next season. At Daytona we'll see it, but definitely a lot of interesting things that can still happen between now and then. And, like I said, we're only not even halfway through Season 7, really, so we got a long way to go, and a lot of things can happen between now and Daytona next season.
Absolutely. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this really informative video on what's going to be happening in Snickers Cup Series. And
this is going in the vault. It's the keeper.
Yes, it is. This is definitely going in the vault. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and be sure and stay tuned here on the Usher Sports channel for more news that'll be coming out based on Season 8 and, of course, the drivers finishing out the season here in Season 7. So once again, Dylan, thanks for joining me for this.
It was fine. And Charles likes mayonnaise and he's Pikachu.
And Sean, please sign for BMW.
Oh, I knew you were going to do that.
I
Bye!
need Sean. Bye.